Welcome back to the Wandering Wind Church, everyone. I am your digital video missionary, Gregory. Today we are reading the final reading of our 12 of our first step devotionals in the Life Recovery Devotional. Day 30. Wow, it's been 30 days already that we've been reading this? Wow, praise God. Um, Remember, as always, if you'd like to subscribe and share and support the channel with any of the links down below to either donate directly or to buy a book and support me that way, I would appreciate all of those things. And let's just get started with day 30's reading. The title of it is Powerless to Understand, and our Bible reading for today is Lamentations 5, verses 7 through 22. We admitted that we were powerless over our dependencies and that our lives had become unmanageable. When the bottom falls out of our world, we grapple with confusion. We try to understand what is happening and why it's happening to us. Is it our fault? What did we do wrong? We're looking for someone to blame. We search for meaning in the madness. We stagger in our attempt to make some sense of it all. After the destruction of Jerusalem, Prophet Jeremiah poured his heart out to God. He described the horrifying conditions that fell upon the people he loved. He cried out, "Our ancestors sinned, but they have died, and we are suffering the punishment they deserved. The garlands have fallen from our heads, but Lord, you remain the same forever. Your throne continues from generation to generation. Why do you continue to forget us? Why have you abandoned us for so long? Restore us, O Lord, and bring us back to you again. Give us back the joys we once had. Or have you utterly rejected us? Are you angry with us still?" Even this great prophet of God was often powerless to understand the meaning of the troubling events in his life. Whose fault was it? Why did this have to happen to us and our loved ones? When we are powerless to understand, it is wise to follow Jeremiah's example and turn to God. God is always there. He understands when we can't. He has promised that he will listen to the prayers of the destitute. Though we can't always understand the events of life, we can know that God does. This is a hard one, especially for someone that grew up being taught to seek knowledge and learn everything I can because that was the best way to possibly get past a lot of the issues I had. My mother was always an advocate that if I couldn't learn it, I should learn it. If I can do something, do it, And so I was given that kind of encouragement early on. And because of that, when I don't understand things now, it frustrates the heck out of me. When I don't understand why the world is what it is, when I can't understand why God would allow certain things to happen to people, where some people are so in such suffering that they can't stand it, it makes me upset. But I have to understand and I have to realize and accept that though I can't understand, God does. And because God does, he knows the better way to do things. Even though I think that maybe this particular thing shouldn't have happened and maybe didn't need to happen, God understands the long-term implication of every event, whether good or bad, in both our lives and in the lives of the world at large, I mean, if we didn't have World War II, we wouldn't have some of the things we have today. We wouldn't have some of the cultural and spiritual and economical reforms that we do, Even though it was a horrible thing, even though the Holocaust did happen, there were things that came about later on that would not have happened otherwise that have allowed us to improve and grow and even learn from the evil and horrible actions of the past. And so I'm not saying that there was anything good that came out of such horrible events, but rather that in spite of those events, we still manage to do good afterward by not repeating the same mistakes, by not doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result but remaining insane, you know? So, in all things, I think that we are meant to take every situation and just learn that even though we don't understand, God does, and we can trust Him to work out the results. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for this whole month, really, is realizing that we have a problem. Just admitting that we are powerless. And then admitting that, because we are powerless, we have a responsibility to seek the one who has power and allow Him to control, allow Him to strengthen, allow Him to lead so that we can become better. We can grow more. And so that's why I believe wholeheartedly that is what we are called to do, and that is why we are who we are. Remember that we grow not by leaps and bounds in recovery, but rather by moment dedication to the process, step by step improvement and progress, not seeking perfection, not seeking to belittle ourselves for our failures, but rather seeking always to grow through our failures and grow past the addictions we used to face, trusting always that God will make things work out the way that they should, not the way we desire, but the way He knows is best. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm praying for you in your recovery, just as I hope that you pray for me and mine. And until next time, thank you for joining me on this journey, and thank you for being a part of my ministry here on YouTube. I will be beginning the second steps readings tomorrow, and I hope that you will join me in this journey again soon. Thank you, and I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again